Alrighty. Here we go. Down, 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 down. Alright. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. The show with hot wings and even hotter questions. I'm your host, AfroMattt, again. And today, well... Alright, let's start it off again with another... I'm sorry for smiling. It's not funny, but it's kind of actually sad that every week... So let's start off with another obligatory mass shooting moment of silence or memorial or, moment of remembrance. Alabama shooting... This happened an hour ago as I'm recording this. Oh, I should say that this is the first podcast I'm being paid to do. I don't have a sponsor today. The sponsor is work from home. So that's fun. Let's see. Alabama shooting live updates. Police plead for help. Police pled for help. Birthday girl begged dying brother stay. Okay, so this is just depressing. So apparently...
Please do not let this moment define what you think about the city of Danville and our...
Danville. So Danville, 4 people killed, 32 injured, some critically, after gunfire erupted Saturday at Mahogany Masterpiece Dance Studio in Dadeville, according to Alabama law enforcement. It's a small town of 3,020... Wow. Jesus Christ. It's a town of 3,200 people. It has only 3,000 people, and he killed 4 of them. That's like a real... It's like got to be like 0.5% of the population. I mean, at that point, it's almost like a genocide. But, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if they know who the person is. Do they know who the person is? Yeah, I mean, there's a shooting every other day, so, I mean, maybe we're going to stop. Yeah, maybe we should just stop doing it. Maybe we should just start making up shootings that happened, because it's, like, just less depressing than actually reading about shootings that happened. But starting off the podcast, moment of silence. Once again, hearts go out to the family. They have our thoughts and prayers. Of course, people are still... up in arms about bearing arms. People are like, well, now, of course, every time this happens, it's a perfect opportunity to say we need to be strict on guns and stuff like that. It's going to happen every time. You know the drill. It goes up, it dies down until next week. There's another gun, and then it goes up, and it kind of dies down. But, we'll see. There was one good thing about COVID, and it's during COVID there was a lot less shootings because people weren't really out. And I mean, schools weren't in session, so what are you going to shoot up? Empty hallways? I mean, it's really, really useless, pointless. In the perspective of the school shooter, I mean, they're all pointless in general. But, that was one good thing about COVID. I saw this actually on the news about, this lighting is so good. Usually I record these in, like, the dead of a night, and I'm, like, kind of, like, shriveled up. It's dark out. I'm, like, Gollum. But now it's, like, light out. I got natural light coming in from the sun. It's big. This is a big setup for me. I'm feeling it right now. Watch live. So this is happening as we speak. House hearing on the origins of COVID-19. This is a live stream. I'm not gonna just sit here. Imagine if I just live streamed a live stream. But they're having a committee on the coronavirus. Oh, it just adjourned right when I started 2 minutes ago. It adjourned. Whatever. So they're talking about the origins of COVID-19. Interesting fact is that if you mentioned or even questioned the fact that the COVID came from a lab in 2018, 2019, you were looked at as a freak, antisocial, whack job, nutso, tinfoil hat, QAnon supporter, Trump, MAGA 2020, crazy, crazy person. You were all of those things if you thought that a COVID possibly leaked from a possible lab leak in a not a factory, like a technical institute. I don't even know what it was. It was like a laboratory where they were literally, the one job of the factory was to study viruses. And it just so happened that that's where the virus started, and it killed a lot of people. It shut down everything. That begs the question, if that's what released accidentally, imagine what kind of what do they have staying in there? What hasn't released? I know that they have frozen samples of the Black Plague sitting somewhere. 100%. I guarantee you they have the bubonic plague sitting somewhere, waiting for an opportunity to use it. And honestly, I mean, the Black Plague sounds horrible, like getting welts, and I think they did leeches or something. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what happens with the Black Plague, but we all start wearing those big masks with the beak, and then they put flowers at the bottom of the beak because it smells good, and good smells equals fresh air. That was their thought process there. Smart geniuses. I find it so funny that there was the Renaissance and the Romantic period or whatever, when Leonardo da Vinci was creating masterpieces of engineering, and he was creating the ornithopter and the Vitruvian Man, and then I feel like people forgot how to draw. People just forgot things that are people just the babies started to just look like little men, just shrunken down. They had little man face. They looked like accountants just sitting on little Mother Teresa's lap. What in the world happened there? And science just went backwards. People were bloodletting themselves. They're like, oh, I've got bad blood. I've got sour blood. I've got to let leeches suck my sour blood out of me. It's just that they were burning people that had 6 fingers. If you were born with a 6th finger, you were a witch, and you just started getting burned. There's a certain point where it's they just started going backwards. I don't know why. I think those were called the Dark Ages for a reason. I don't know much about history. I don't know if I got that I think Da Vinci came before the Dark Ages. Let's do a quick fact check here, just to make sure everything's factual. Da Vinci, when was he around? When was he bopping around here? When was Da Vinci made? Da Vinci born. This will give us an idea. I mean, people lived 50 years back then. He died in 1519. When was the bubonic plague? When was the bubonic plague? In 16. So he died 100 years before the bubonic plague during the dark ages. So yeah. People were somehow people got really dumb really quick. I kind of wish I want to be one of those people that are I was born in the wrong period, listening to Elvis. Oh my God, I was born in the wrong year. I really love Elvis or whatever. But no, I want to live during Socrates. I want to sit around and listen to Socrates and his apprentice Aristotle do conversations back and forth. Or I don't know how well I would do actually in those time periods, because I'm not a warrior. I couldn't fight for Greece. Dude, sorry. I might sneeze a couple times because the allergies here are crazy. My eyes have been bloodshot red, sneezing. My throat feels like I smoked a pack of cigarettes. It's bad. I have to. I am a What are those people where they have like the little hole in their throat?
I am very happy to meet you.
You know those people. It's, I feel like that. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, Dark Ages. I mean, look at these paintings from the Dark Ages. Paintings. Like, people forgot how to do like perspective or draw faces or um like this person has a leech. Medieval painting worm eating its way into someone's leg. Like, yeah, medieval paintings were so medieval paintings. Like they had the weird baby. I want to find a picture of the weird freaking babies. Like, what is this? You're telling me we went from Da Vinci to this? Like they look like cartoon. They literally look like cartoon characters. Maybe people actually looked like this. Like I know inbreeding was such a thing. People could have actually looked like cartoon characters. I mean, some of these are pretty badass. Like I don't know when this was made, but I want to see those little baby. Oh, here's little baby Jesus doing his taxes. Look at the receding They gave little baby Jesus a receding hairline. Mother Mary is cross-eyed. I mean, what? Like it's crazy. Ah, man, those paintings are so good. I love when I see those in like museums. Like I get why they're in museums, like they're works of art, but and I mean they're so old that they're artifacts, right? So they're artifacts, so I get why they're in a museum, but it's like it's just so funny seeing a little baby like tax accountant just bopping around. It looks like they just got up for work. They have like 6 bags under their eyes, and receding hairline. Just so pissed. Let's see. All right, let's continue with the news. Dude, I completely forgot to do the whole news intro thing. Like I usually do this, but here we go. The news. News with Matt. News. Tuesday news. Wednesday news. News throughout the week. Whenever you're listening to this. Whatever day it is, this is the news. I mean, this was really sad. And this actually made me really upset here. I'm not talking about the school shooting. I don't even know if it was a school shooting. It was a shooting of some sort. A fire killed. And look, I don't want to linger on the school shooting thing, but like I don't even know what happened with the shooting, and I really don't. And this is gonna sound bad. I don't really care. It's just because there's so many shootings. Like the transgender one popped out because it was like, okay, this is new. It's transgender, right? This is a new evolution. Eventually, shooters are just going to be like, it's only a matter of chance. Like it's a numbers game before one of them is just like a hot model, and people start simping for her. They'll be like, it 100% will happen. I mean, people used to simp for Daniel Rodriguez, the California Strangler or something. The Night Stalker, I think is what his name was. People like girls would throw he would be loaded into the car. The news would say, "Man strangles, dismembers, and eats 14 women," or whatever, and they were throwing their panties and bras at him while he was getting loaded into the police car, like one of those T-shirt cannons at a baseball game. They were just like launching their undergarments into and he got so much fan mail. That dude got so much fan mail. And I don't get the obsession with like my sister and my mom are obsessed with like true crime podcasts and essentially like the most gruesome tales of all time. Like Serial Podcast or My Favorite Murderer. There's another one that she said, but they are the most gruesome tales of just horrifying journeys. Like, I don't even want to rehash because I've like already blocked it out. But these are like things that they're falling asleep to. Like, they're falling asleep to tales that I have to physically block out of my mind for trauma. Like, if I remember it, I will want to vomit again. And they're falling asleep to it. It's unnatural. It's completely not good. Not good. But there's some weird sort of like, maybe Freud, like if Freud was alive today, maybe he would be able to sort it out. Like, do women secretly want to be with a bad boy who's so bad that they're just murder people? Like, is that what's going on, or is it something like weirdly innate, like the most intimate feeling is not love but like rage, so they want someone who's just rageful? I don't know. They want someone so passionate that they'll kill them. I don't know. It's a complete mystery, but yeah, it's only a matter of time before a shooter of the modern era is just some hot dude who's like 6'5". He benches 225 with one hand. He's like got that total Chad look. He's got like that chiseled jawline. You see him on the news, he's like this. He's got that Chad that like his cheeks are in. He looks like a male model, and the headline above his mugshot is "Man brutally murders and shoots school, killing 4, injuring 24," or whatever, you know. And people and girls will and guys will go crazy for it. They'll be like, he's me. What a Chad. What a Chad. Like, it's only a matter of numbers. Like, it'll happen. And I mean, of course, we're a news-centered podcast, so we will talk about it and make fun of it. And I'll say I told you so, but it's not really like I told you so, because it's only a numbers game. It has to happen. You know, if there's one shooting every week, right? And say there's 1 in every 1,000 people are just like that hot, right? They're just a Chad, beautiful dude, right? Then it's just a matter of like 3 years before that happens. And it's going to be crazy when it does. Like, I can imagine like at the trial, girls showing up at the trial with signs that says like "marry me" or "have my kid." When that happens, it'll be interesting. Let's see. This news was actually pretty distressing. Dude, my eyes are on fire from my allergies. A fire killed 18,000 cows in Texas. It's a horrifyingly normal disaster. So, an explosion and fire in a dairy farm on Monday, Texas, has been called the deadliest cattle barn ever recorded. It left one coworker in critical condition. So, 18,000 cows killed. Now, I tweeted about this, and if you want to see my Twitter, it's down in the below. It's links in the description below, if you're watching on YouTube, or I guess if you're listening as well. But it's in the description, whatever. But I tweeted this, and I don't know if it's okay to say on YouTube, because it might get my YouTube video flagged or taken down. But whoever is responsible for this should be dragged from their household, either by police or vigilante justice. I don't know how to say this without... So, okay, A, drag them from their house. B, hook them up to a cow farm machine, one that just sucks them. Put the suction cups on their belly, and just like where it's just sucking the fat into the cups, and it's just like turning purple. Leave them there for a long time. And then, don't light the building on fire, because now that's murder. And so no, don't do that, but just hook them up to the cow farm machine, see how he likes it, and then bring him to trial for 18,000 cows. And I'm not saying that one cow equals one human death. I think that maybe it's like a maybe 100 to 1, maybe. So this guy should be on trial for, what is that, 180 murders, like person murders. So this guy, whoever is responsible for this, I'm sure it's like a group of people. Like whenever the market collapsed in '07, only one person who had literally like barely anything to do with it will go to jail. No one will see any sort of repercussion. It says that they're still under investigation, but of course the investigation will prove useless. I mean, I don't even want to think about the cows burning alive. And the saddest part is that the cows dying, while it was probably a painful death, burning alive, I mean, it's probably better that they're dead, because their lives are just a living hell. Like, farming cows 24/7 for their milk is like wild. And I mean, probably unethical. So like the only thing that made me question eating beef is this right here, but these were dairy cows. So I mean, maybe not drinking milk, but I mean, I still eat cheese, which is awesome. Cheese, I love cheese. But yeah, this is just sad. It's fucked up. And you know that whatever CEO, when this comes out, they'll be like, yeah, this is a devastating loss. And then secretly, once they go back and talk to their employees, they're going to be like, well, we have to recoup our losses here, so we're going to have to lay off half of you. And we're going to have to, work the rest of you twice as hard to make up for the losses and assets. Each cow is an asset, and they just probably lost like $15 million or something. So man, dude, I really do hate where this world is. And I mean, there's not much you can do, really. Like, what are you going to do? Truly, what are you going to do? Can't do anything. You can't do anything. That being said, I mean, you can do things, but ask ChatGPT what. Actually, you know what? That might be a good thing. Maybe I can ask ChatGPT. Maybe I won't get in trouble if ChatGPT says it. ChatGPT. Introducing ChatGPT. Oh, there's a new one now. Great. This is growing a little too fast for my liking, to be honest. Why does it need... Man. ChatGPT 0.4? Like, how many ChatGPTs are there? Alright, here we are. We're in ChatGPT. ChatGPT, how would someone change the... how would someone overthrow the current socio-economical structure? Oh, that's a big word. Socio-economic structure. All right, ChatGPT, let's see what you got. Let's see if I end up on some sort of list for this. Listen, guys, this is for educational purposes only, so. All right, ChatGPT, he's typing away. Okay, as an AI language model, I cannot condone or encourage any actions that involve overthrowing socioeconomic structure. However, I can provide some information on the topic. Okay, thank you. This is... They really opened a can of worms. They opened Pandora's box when they made AI. Overthrowing a socioeconomic structure is complex and challenging task that would require a significant amount of planning, organization, and support from large groups of people. Some possible steps would be taken. Building a strong and diverse coalition. Overthrowing a socioeconomic structure requires a large and diverse group of people who are committed to the cause. This group should include people from different backgrounds, ages. Okay, inclusivity. We love to see inclusivity. Okay, identify key issues and grievances. It is essential to identify the key issues and grievances that people have with the current economic structure. This can be done through surveys, focus groups, and other forms of research. Develop a clear vision and strategy. Okay, so main grievances are the mass wealth gap between average human and the wealthy elite. It is like stupid crazy. Number one grievance. Number two grievance is probably corporate greed. And I don't want to be one of those like edge lords who's like, oh, corporations suck, because you need them. Hey, I like going to Walmart and getting a bag of Takis as much as the next person. Trust me, I do. I like being able to do that, but it's the greed part that's probably more important than the corporate part. The greed part is like where instead of a supervisor not taking a bonus, he'll tell all of his subordinates that they're not getting bonuses so he can. It's like that sort of like that mindset is what I'm not about. That's grievance number two for me. Hey, I'm not trying to overthrow any sort of. I'm just, hey, chatbot, chill. All right, number three, develop a clear vision and strategy. It is important to have a clear vision of what the new socioeconomic structure should look like and how it can be achieved. This requires careful planning, research, and collaboration. So this is where, like, if I was hypothetically to start a new sort of socioeconomic structure, you would want to hire or bring on some sort of professional who knows what they're talking about, someone who's an economist. But my problem with economists is it's like the finance version of astrology. Like, there's like the people that are in the camp of they're like different philosophers, and they're like, well, I believe in I'm a Descartes or whatever, whatever their name is. I'm a Descartes economist, and it's sort of willy-nilly. So I wouldn't bring on an economist. You know what I would bring on? I would bring on a supreme philosopher, someone who and this is who I think should rule the world, someone with no earthly possessions, who's sort of like maybe a monk. I think a monk ruled, but they don't want, it's like you want someone who doesn't want to be the president to be president. That's the problem. That's really the problem. You want someone to be president who doesn't want to be president. Like, I think when they elected George Washington, he didn't want to really be president, but I mean, it just happened because he was like the fearless leader, and he took charge, and he filled the power vacuum, and he just kind of fell into that position. But like, the ideal leader would probably be like just a monk who's just out there. He's like, I have no earthly possessions. I've already reached nirvana. I'm just trying to help the rest of the population live, like just chill. I read a quote by Gandhi the other day that said, the rich need to live simple so that the poor can simply live. It was pretty deep. Gandhi wasn't a monk, but that's the kind of idea that we need. So engage in nonviolent protest and civil disobedience. Nonviolent protest and civil disobedience can be powerful tools for challenging the current socioeconomic structure. This can include marches, sit-in, boycotts, and other forms of direct action. Well, yeah, nonviolent is a good first step, okay? Is what I'll say. Create alternative institutions. It may be necessary to create alternative institutions that can provide support and services to people who are marginalized by the current socioeconomic structure. This can include alternate media, community-based organizations, and cooperatives. Yeah, the thing about creating alternate media is, like, I know people, like, once Trump was banned on Twitter, he like joined the alternate media, which is like Rumble, and now people are like, oh, that's the racist platform. And I'm like, I've never really went in there, but I can't imagine it's just like 4chan. It's not 4chan, I doubt. But yeah, so I think the first step is people realizing that the problems that they're fighting for are stupid. For one, they're stupid. People marching for trans rights, stop. Stop, right? Look, I love a man who's who's a woman as much as the next guy, but sometimes I don't think of that things until I hear them and I realize what they really mean, you know, but so look, they're fighting for the wrong things. A lot of these marches for guns and stuff, everyone's pro-gun. Like, these people are really ideally, these people are pro-gun. They're like, yeah, I'm pro-gun. I just want people not to be able to buy them at a gas station, which, I mean, kind of seems kind of cool to be able to buy a gun at a gas station. But anyways, that's besides the point. But these people are all arguing for the wrong things, and it's all co-opted by the government because they don't want they don't want anyone to agree on anything. Anytime people agree on something, that's the problem, really. So if you can, that's why it's important to have people that you know in your circle on both sides, because if you guys can ever agree on something, that's the problem that you should be focusing on. Like, people on Republican and Democrat sides can't buy houses right now, right? So maybe that's a problem, right? Or maybe the fact that I don't know. I don't really want to even get into it, really. But hey, ChatGPT, thank you for laying that out for us. ChatGPT is so cool. It really is. It's going to change the world. I saw someone. Oh God, I think I made a TikTok about ChatGPT, and someone commented, yeah, ChatGPT is going to essentially change nothing. And I'm like, that is the most wild take ever. The fact that an AI capable of learning will change absolutely nothing. Craziest take. Oh, this was okay. This is interesting here. Images leaked that images of leaked classified documents were posted in at least 2 Discord chat rooms. So this was from the 14th of April. So a bunch of leaked classified documents were posted in 2 chat rooms in Discord. The leaks began months ago, and in the first chat room, Discord server called Thug Shaker Central, that Jack Teixeira allegedly oversaw. Multiple U.S. officials told CNN. An FBI affidavit unsealed Friday corroborates this timeline. 20-year-old airman with Massachusetts Air National Guard made his first appearance in federal court, Boston, Friday morning following the arrest by the FBI the day before. According to charging documents, Teixeira held a top-secret security clearance and allegedly began posting information about the documents online. It is unclear exactly how photos of classified documents later ended up on the second Discord chat room, known as the End of WoW Mao Zone, in March, but 4 members of WoW Mao Zone told CNN that they saw another user who does not appear to be Teixeira, who went by Lucca, repost some of the classified documents in the chat room. I mean, this is crazy. Like what timeline? So this person is in a Discord server called Thug Shaker Central. Thug Shaker Central. And he's posting top secret classified documents. Like, I don't really look. A lot of people are upset at him posting classified documents. I'm actually in the other side when it comes to that. I love when people give away classified documents, because any sort of like, and I know people are like, well, the enemy can get a hold of it, and now they know our secrets. And it's like, hey, they probably already do. First off, they probably already do, and really, who cares? First off, who cares? So anytime like Edward Snowden releases a lot of classified documents about how the NRA or the what is it, the NSA, I don't know, NSA spies on you constantly, and then the government is actively trying to kill him, so he has to flee to Moscow. That's like, I'm like, hey, he's a freedom fighter. He's getting information to the people. I don't know what type of documents this guy was leaking out there, but if he was trying to get information to the people, being a patriot, good on him. I respect him. I respect that. Right? And if that means that I'm some sort of, anti-American, establishment, yes, I am. I'm not anti-American. I like this country. I love this country. I love to be here. I like the idea. First off, I like the idea of this country. I don't like the je ne sais quoi. No, I don't know. I don't like the application of where this country is sort of slipped into a spot where I think what sums it up is the term, like just this term alone, I think sums up where this country is at. The term career politician should sum up where this country is at. There should be no one who can make a career out of being a politician. Being a politician should be after you've done something, right? You shouldn't just like leave college with a degree in economics and be like, I'm going to become a politician. That's going to be my thing. I'm good at talking to people. I'm good at lying. I'm going to become a politician. And actually, one of the realtors that I work with actually is a politician. They are on the Senate. So, yes, those two things that work really well in that job, lying and talking to people, also translates to being a politician, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Discord. I don't know if Discord's going to crack down on their I have a friend on my Discord. There, like, it pops up every now and then, like if someone's in like maybe one of these Discord servers where they do like cheats for webs or cheats for video games and stuff, or even more suspicious activity than that, like leaking classified documents. Discord will have like a little symbol next to them that says this person may be affiliated with a terrorist group, and there's one person on I don't know who it is, but every time I scroll past, I'm like, where did this guy come from, and why do they have that terrorist thing on their thing? Makes me laugh every time. Speaking about making me laugh every time, Bush CEO says Bud Light partnership with trans influencer wasn't meant to divide. So this was kind of big news here. So Bud Light brought on a new spokeswoman, Dylan Mulvaney, a trans person.
Hi! Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So, I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya! Cheers!
So I haven't really even followed this too closely. I just heard like some people getting upset. My grandpa, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to drink Bud Light anymore. Goddamn liberals ruining yet another classic American beverage. I don't even know, like, what would that sentence mean? Goddamn liberals ruining yet another classic American beverage. What's next? Mug root beer? Coming after my mug root beer next. Keep your hands off don't tread on my mug root beer. I haven't really been following this, but I thought it was a pretty funny headline, like trans woman becomes head of Bud Light. Bud Light, possibly the drink that is drank by the highest population of racist people ever in existence, besides mug root beer. Those like Like the amount of people that support trans rights, the Venn diagram of trans rights activists and people that drink Bud Light, there might be no overlap. Like there might be zero overlap between those two categories of people, those two demographics. It might be the oh man, that's crazy. It's actually so crazy. Hey, I enjoy myself an occasional Bud Light. Bud Light is really good after you mow the lawn or something. It's 90 degrees outside. You come in, those things go down like water. They're good, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll still drink Bud Light. If that's what you want me to say, that's what look. I didn't even know this. I would have drank it anyways. But now I have a reason to drink it cuz it's supporting trans people. As I drink Bud Light, I can say, "Wow, I am helping in a cause that is important." Let's see. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Yes. Everyone loves Garbage Patch as much as the next person. So the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is now so huge that so huge and permanent that a coastal ecosystem is thriving on it. So if you don't know what the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is, and I didn't know about
remarkable
this.
fun.
I didn't actually know about this until a while back, but apparently there is a giant just collection of garbage off the coast of California. And it just collects garbage. It just like, I guess there's like something with the currents or whatever, but all the garbage that we throw into the ocean, somehow, not all of it, but somehow some of it gets attracted over there, winds up there through the currents, and it's just starting to collect into a huge island of garbage.
In the middle of the ocean. A gigantic swell of trash floating in the Pacific Ocean seems to be teeming with life. Scientists have...
this overall seems to be good news. It is almost to the point where we can take homeless people and move them to Trash Island. So we take all the homeless people out there, round them all up, and we move them to the Pacific Garbage Patch. It has its own ecosystem. There's like garbage trees growing. There's like garbage grass, everything. There's garbage streams. Like it somehow has like a lake in the middle of like a freshwater lake in the ocean. Freshwater lake, garbage lake on Garbage Island, filled, and we just fill it with homeless people. That's where we put them, on Garbage Island, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Finding that dozens of coastal creatures, including tiny crabs, have been able to survive and reproduce on plastic debris thousands of kilometres from their original home. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, as it's known, is twice the size of Texas and is in between California.
What? It is twice the size of Texas? That is way bigger than I thought. I thought it was an island. The Garbage Patch is twice the size of Texas? What? That is not even on... That's an island. That's our 51st state. Twice the size... That is our 51st state. The Garbage Patch is our 51st state that we've created. That's crazy.
And Hawaii. CNN's chief climate correspondent Bill Weir joins us now from New York to explain. Good to see you, Bill.
Hi, Linda.
It's quite a bizarre story. We've spoken about this Pacific Garbage Patch before, but it is now home to these sea creatures, which despite of all that...
I mean, dude, there is nothing funnier than talking so casually about a patch. And it's funny that they call it the great. Like there's something great about it, because it is kind of like a never before seen, like a human occurrence, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It is just unprecedented. It is. I mean, I wouldn't say great in the terms of like, hey, that's awesome, but it's great in its scale, right? It is crazy. When she said twice the size of Texas, I don't know. That's like twice the size of Texas. That's like half the United States. Is that serious? That's crazy.
Plastic rubbish they're thriving. Just explain
They're
what the
thriving.
study shows.
Well, it shows that nature will adapt to human activity, but human activity is now so vast that we've created essentially a country of plastic for these little critters that should be living on coastline.
A country, yeah, it is. It's not only a country. It's our new. It is the new place for homeless people. I mean, that's wild. Like anytime and they call it a patch. Like it probably got its name when it was just a small little, like maybe the size of like one of those little islands that you row to in the lake, right? Or you go kayaking and you pull into an island and you're like, oh, this is a cute little patch. That's what it started. That's when it got its name. And they're like, wow, this is the Great Pacific garbage patch or whatever. But now that it's the size of a, can you see it from the sky? I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, how big is the Great Garbage Patch? Oh, what? Dude, it's not letting me search. Oh, it's pissed. New chat. How? Oh shit. Dude, it's not letting me type. ChatGPT is pissed at me because I asked it how to overthrow socioeconomic structures. How big is the garbage patch? I refuse to believe it's as big as Texas. All right, whatever. All right, we've got a couple more stories here. This is kind of a heartwarming story here. This is a classic Mr. Beast story. We're not that Mr. Beast story. We're not talking about Chris becoming trans. This is another one. So this is a story. Man throws $100 bills out of his car window, gifting around $200,000 to Oregon motorists. Oregon State Police and other agencies received reports Tuesday night about money floating on Interstate 5 in Eugene. The multiple cars stopped along the roads in both north and southbound lanes looking for the money. Authorities said in a statement the bills were reportedly $100 bills. Why did he throw the money out? So this guy stole money from essentially... So this guy named McCarthy, which is a badass name. McCarthy estimated he threw out $200,000, although police couldn't confirm how much was gifted. Police went to where the money was thrown and following the morning found no bills. Motorists did a thorough job of gathering the loose money as troopers were unable to locate. I'm sure the police looked long and hard. They wanted every one of those dollar bills. So, I mean, can you really even... So, they said, did this guy get charged? Police said that they asked McCarthy to stop throwing the money out. What the hell? They asked him to stop throwing the money out because it was causing a significant traffic hazard. He agreed to stop, and the police said no criminal charges are being considered. The police are urging public to avoid the temptation of going looking for money along the highway. These searches created a hazardous condition that put both the searchers and motorists at risk. Interesting. So this is sort of a this guy stole $200,000 from his family and gave it to random people on the highway. It's kind of like a Robin Hood Classic Robin Hood story. Stealing from your parents to give to everyone else. It's kind of wholesome. Mr. Beast should do a video similar to this instead of Mr. Beast video number 4000, episode titled $100 steak versus $100 apartment versus $12 million apartment. Instead of doing that video, how about you just throw $12 million out of a moving plane over downtown Skid Row, California, and just rain the money, and it'll slowly, like, you know how they do those diving runs when they're putting out fires with the water and the plane will dump a massive bucket of water on the fire? Do that, but cash. And just record it. Set up cameras, of course, set up cameras beforehand so you can catch the mayhem once the panic starts. That's content. Mr. Beast, if you do that, you owe me royalties. I'm telling you right now, you owe me royalties. All right, let's move on to TikTok time, and then we'll wrap this up. Sorry for the little bit of a short episode. I am working from home, so. So I've ended up on a weird side of TikTok called, like water TikTok. So these ladies, who I guess don't like flavorless water, are deciding to create their own sort of like water. So this person is making, and this is like a trend, it's called water TikTok. Like if you look it up, just type in water TikTok, thousands of these old Southern ladies will pop up. These old Southern belles will pop up drinking, essentially, which is, they take tepid, gross water, because water is so gross. They put ice in it, and then they flavor just the regular, it's not even sparkling water, it's just like regular flat water, and they just flavor it up until it's basically a punch. And then they call it water.
I'm running late today. We're going to get to the water of the day. I'm thinking wedding cake with a twist. Let's get to the water bar. Okay, vanilla almonds and coconuts are what make up wedding cake. So 2 coconut and then 2 of the vanilla almond. Fill her up. So just like that, you got wedding cake water. So good. Let's go to our packets. I'm thinking strawberry, and then I was like, no, let's do coconut, and then.
So if you're just like, she has an entire cabinet dedicated to various powders and additives for water, boxes. It looks like only here I see about 50 packets, and then behind her on the wall there's probably 4 more boxes of various packets.
Great. Pineapple. Y'all, the flavors are endless. I'm thinking strawberry. Got the all pink Starburst. Let's add that.
Starburst. That's good.
What's prettier than a pink water, right?
What's prettier than
and I'm
pink
gonna pour
water?
this into this. I'm just going to add more water and more ice, but I'll do it in this glass because you guys can see how pretty it is.
God save us.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Make that water of the day.
God save us. God. I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay, interesting news. Apparently Chicago is in like full-on
Chaos has erupted.
Chaos has erupted in downtown Lego Chicago. This sounds like a Lego commercial.
Chaos has erupted in downtown Chicago. There are reports of hundreds of teenagers smashing car windows, getting into fights, robbing people, and there are reports of multiple shots being fired. This is the second night in a row where hundreds of teens in Chicago have met up after seeing flyers posted on social media.
I mean, Chicago is Gotham City. I don't want to be the one to say it, but Chicago has become Gotham City. I don't know what happened. They got a new mayor, and I don't know if the mayor ran on the platform of turning it into Gotham City, but it seems kind of like that's what it is. There needs to be a Batman. A Batman-like vigilante needs to roll up to Chicago and just like, I just imagine him, his cape billowing behind him. He's staring out over his city, and he's like, I'm not the man that they deserve, but I'm the man that they need right now. And he just goes down there and starts you know, beating up, of course he would be considered racist, and people would say racist vigilante beating up only black people. It's the price of justice for him. And of course this vigilante Batman type person in Chicago, Gotham, would become a nationwide hero. He dresses up like, what would he dress up as? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he would just dress up as Batman. Just start beating people up. Life mirroring art. But here's Chicago. Here's a Walmart. So Walmart shut down all their Walmarts in Chicago because they were shoplifted. And I mean, this looks like it got flooded, and then everything just kind of settled on the ground. This place is ransacked.
Everything is either on the floor. Look at this. Can't even get no.
So as of like, I think it's May 14th, all Walmarts in Chicago will be closed. Basically turning it into a food desert where the only food that you can eat will actively kill you. Eating McDonald's and that trash.
No fucking food for my kids, G. Look at this. Came in the store to try to buy something because I'm not a thief. Look at this. In my hood, can't even get no food for my kids.
That is crazy. That aisle is completely empty. Everything's on the ground, smashed up.
Can't even get nothing for my kids, bro.
Hey.
Like
okay, first off, she's overreacting. You can get things for your kids. I saw an unopened case of Coca-Cola there. And I don't think that people are going to really get onto you if you just walk out with those. At this point, I think Walmart's been calling it wraps, and they've already done the balance sheets, and they expect everything in this store to reach zero very soon.
Animal, and black people made me feel like an animal. Y'all did this to us. Look at this.
I wonder if this is going to like she said black people make her feel like an animal, and she is black, okay, first off. So I don't know if there's going to be like a new wave of like red voters in Chicago. It could flip pretty. It could be dramatic.
Look at this. Look at the store.
I mean, this is crazy. I'm not going to watch this whole video because it's boring, but it's great. Okay, one last video. I saw this guy on TikTok. He's pretty interesting. I just like that he's like such a dad. This guy's like such a dad. He reminds me of Tim Allen from what's that TV show where he's like, oh, Home Improvement. This is like the Home Improvement for civil unrest.
Proho were to take an empty water bottle, if Proho were to take an empty water bottle and fill it up halfway with black oil-based paint, then add a little used motor oil, and for good measure, a few pinches of sand, and then stretch a water balloon over the opening, and then lob this party favor, or let's say an occupying force. Goodness, that oil-based paint is difficult to deal with, hard to wash off. And that oil, well, it's slippery too. And the sand, goodness, it plays havoc on face shields. Not so good for optics either. Act accordingly.
So I guess this guy has like tricked the algorithm into like showing up, like, I don't know when, like, God, YouTube algorithm would never show anything like this. YouTube Shorts would never show anything close to this. It's way too highly micromanaged. But this guy's like sort of tricked the algorithm into thinking that he's just like some dad showing off awesome, cool tricks on how to improve your home. What is this one?
There is a disturbing trend that has gotten traction in our cities. People are actually going to Home Depot, buying spray foam for $4.38 and filling up parking meters. Now this is absolutely despicable. Why anyone would go to Home Depot and buy spray foam for $4.38 to disable parking meters is beyond me. Our cities need those taxes. They need that money to keep our cities running clean and free of crime. And I just can't imagine why anyone would do such a thing. To go to Home Depot and buy spray foam for $4.38 is unbelievable to me. And furthermore, they're wearing COVID masks and hoodies, and they're paying with cash. If you see these criminals, make sure that you act accordingly.
I mean, that's just legendary. What the hell? Where's my phone? What the hell's my phone? Oh, here it is. Oh, well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming along on this adventure today. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with a friend. Leave a comment. Let me know how I can improve. Let me know if you have any questions. My inbox is always open on Twitter, Instagram, email. If you want to send my emails down below as well. Just let me know if you have any questions or anything. But yeah, thanks for the support. Really appreciate it. Thanks for listening. Bye. Peace out. Bye.